If you have heard that Canadian visitors visa can turn into work permit and work permit can turn into permanent residency, I need to stop you right there. Anyway, that was once true, but it's no longer true. And if you're still believing in that, you can get yourself deported after landing or get yourself banned from coming back again. So today, I'm correcting that myth. And I'm also going to be walking you through step by step on how to apply for Canada Visitors Visa the right way, so that at the end of this video, you will know exactly what to expect. Let's get it started. Welcome back. This is KDGist, and on this channel, I break down anything immigration education in a simple way such that it will be easier for you to follow without making mistakes. Now, let me clear something quickly for you. During COVID-19, Canada allowed visitors inside of Canada to apply for work permits. That was in 2020, 2021. And most people, or some people, also used that path to become permanent residents. But since August 2024, that door has been closed. And that is what I was referring to as a myth. If you are still believing in that myth, that door has been closed. So what happens is, if you are in Canada as a visitor or on a visitor's visa and you get a job offer, you will have to apply through visa office outside of Canada. Is either you go back to your home country to apply for work permit, for your work permit, or you apply through embassy, through visa office outside of Canada for you to process your application. And also, what used to be known as Flagpole also ended in December 2024 as well. So Flagpole means if your visitor's visa expires, you can go outside of Canada, maybe just drive to US and Canada's border, you cross to US, and then you come back, they will check your documents and start and give you a renewed visitor's visa or a renewed visa for you to come back into Canada. But that also stopped in December 2024. So just think of it like someone telling you that, this river, we used to go to this river, we cross from this bank of the river to the other bank of the river using a specific bridge. But that bridge is no longer there, has been removed. And you still have that belief of, oh, this bridge is still there, let me go and cross. And you get there, you can't see the bridge anymore. So you'll be disappointed. So that is what is happening in the Canada's visitors visa space. And the information have changed and a lot of things have changed as well. So those that used to believe, or it used to happen in the past, where you have visitors visa, you come with it, you get work permit, and from work permit, you get a PR. Yeah, it was once true, but it's no longer true. So the real roadmap that we are going to be looking at, I have 7 steps to guide you through on how to apply for Canada's visitors visa the right way, and things that you need to know before you start applying. So now let's take it step by step. Step 1, create your IRCC secure account. And in creating this account, you have 2 options. Option 1 is sign-in partner. And this sign-in partner is about, if you have a Canadian or you bank with Canada, you have a Canadian bank account, you can use the Canadian bank account to sign in. So it will authenticate you using your bank login credentials. And once it authenticates you, then you follow, it will redirect you actually to the IRCC portal. When you go to the IRCC portal will direct you to the sign-in partner, either you're using CIBC or BMO or TD Bank or whichever one. So after you have logged in with your credentials, it will authenticate, send you SMS 6-digit number, then it will redirect you back to IRCC portal for you to start your visitor visa application. Second option is the GCKey. And this GCKey is the one I'm going to be focusing today, because mostly if you're applying from outside of Canada, obviously you don't have a Canadian bank account, right? So you will need to follow this step in order for you to be able to create your account. And after you create your account, then you can fill up the necessary things that follow suit, which we are going to talk about in the other steps. So now let's look at setting up your account. It requires a few things. 1, choosing a username. So you have to select a username that is appropriate to you, or whatever you want to call it, dogdo.1, whatever. Then creating a strong password, minimum of 8 characters, and it has to be a combination of numbers, letters, and the letters have to be both upper cases and lower cases, and a mix of special characters so that it will be a very strong password. Otherwise, the system will not accept it from you. Then you have to answer or create recovery questions, more like challenge questions. In what year was your grandmother born? When did you meet your first love? Those kind of questions, so that you can easily remember. In case you forget your password, those questions will help you to do what? To reset your password. And you need to be careful in choosing your password and your challenge questions, because if you forget any of this and your account gets locked, I'm sorry, you might not be able to recover that account again. You might have to create a new one. And if you have any application going on to track there, it will be a very tough one for you. So be aware of that. And then you confirm or verify your email with a code. So once you create the password, answer the questions, and click submit, it will send you an email to confirm and verify your email. And you will receive a code in your email. So that code is what you now use and copy and come back to this portal to verify your email. Once that is verified, you are good to go. But there's one important thing I want you to know. In 2026, IRCC introduced what we call two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication. So you either use your phone number to receive a 6-digit text message, like a code, for you to complete. Even after you have put in your username and password, you answer one or two challenge recovery questions, you still have to authenticate using this, just to be sure that you are the one accessing that portal. Or you can download Authenticator app. You can use the Microsoft Authenticator app or Google Authenticator app or Duo, whichever one that is your choice, to set up this particular one. It is very compulsory now. Before, it's just optional or even not there, but now you have to do that. Then let's look at step 2. So in step 2, it's what we call the eligibility check. Here, IRCC asks you a series of questions before your application even gets started. And the questions include: 1, what are you coming to do? 2, how long do you plan to stay in Canada? 3, what passports do you hold or do you possess? 3, where are you currently residing? That is country of your residence. 4, do you have a Canadian family already? 5, have you lived in Canada before? 6, what is your marital status? Are you married or single or divorced? 7, which province are you heading towards? So these are the eligibility check list. So I will recommend and advise you to answer these questions honestly for the system to be able to determine if you are going to proceed or not. Because based on these questions, whatever you answer here will now make the system to tell you if you are eligible to apply for the visitor's visa or not. And if you're eligible, it will also be able to calculate how much fee you're going to pay based on how you answer the questions, because it varies per individual, per country, but per the kind of passport that you hold. Step 3, the application questionnaires. So now comes the application question, the real question that builds your personalized checklist for other steps, and also will determine how much you are going to pay at the end of the day. Since you've crossed the hurdle of step 2, which checks and determines your eligibility and tells you you are eligible to apply for visitor's visa, it comes to this step 3. Step 3 will ask you some other further questions and personalized questions that will now determine how your checklist, which is the documents and other things that you need to do, and your payments as well. So let's look at it one after the other. 1, real purpose of your visit. They will not want to know exactly why you are visiting Canada. Are you going for maternity leave or mugwo? Or are you going to attend the graduation of your son-in-law, daughter-in-law? Or are you going for a conference? Those kind of things. And number 2, are you employed or run a business back home? So they want to know your employment status back home in your country where you're coming from. And is there anybody that is dependent on you financially back home? So if you are a breadwinner or people are dependent on you financially for certain specific things, they want to also know your financial status and your financial dependency. And then they will ask you your travel history. If you have been to 193 countries of the world, or you have not been to any country, they want to know. And your past criminal record, they want to know if you have been admitted in the court, if you have been sent to prison or jail or whatever, if you have any pending criminal case, or if you have been, if you have committed a criminal offense before that they sentence you or you're found guilty. So those kind of things, And then, have you been refused a visa before? Very, very important. This one is very, very important. It doesn't matter if it is Canadian visa, any visa at all to any country, as far as it's outside your country that you have been refused a visa to another country, you will have to declare it here. Very, very important. Now, based on the previous steps and what questions you answered or how you answer your questions, it will determine the kind of documents you will be asked to provide. But these ones listed here are like a general document for almost everybody you will need. So your specific situation might differ. You might have additional documentation. For instance, if you have had a long travel history to different countries, they might require some specific documents from you apart from these ones. And somebody who has not ever traveled before might also need to provide some other documents, But these are the general ones. One, valid international passport. Your passport has to be valid, at least 6 months validity on it. Then digital passport photograph based on the specification for the IRCC applications. So you will see it there. It will tell you the specification of the passport photograph you need to take in terms of length and breadth of it. POF, that's proof of fund, bank statement, or any other document that shows your proof of fund. Could be GIC certificate or whatever you want to present. And then a letter of itinerary explaining your purpose of travel. You have to submit a letter explaining and telling them the purpose of your travel. And also, if you are being sponsored, maybe your company is having a convention, or your church is having a convention, or your company is having a conference somewhere, and they need to send you to Canada to come and attend it. That means the company might be sponsoring you, or your church might be sponsoring you. So there will be a letter from your sponsor stating their status, their living condition, and financial condition rather. And if you have a family in Canada that is sponsoring you to come, maybe you want to bring your mother or your father to come on a visiting visa, or you're bringing grandma, wherever, and you are the one sponsoring them, you that you are present in Canada here, you're the one sponsoring them. So, and you're the one filling out the form on their behalf. So this letter has to come from you, stating the purpose, like we stated here, and also your status in Canada, either you're a PR or a citizen, or you're on a work permit, and also giving them your bank statements. You might print the last 3 months bank statement and attach it, and also tell them where you live, how you are living. Are you living in a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom? You state those ones there. One important thing, IRCC does not publish POF. So there is no stated or stipulated POF for this particular application. It depends on how you package the application and also the length of time you are going to spend in Canada. So if you are coming for example, you're writing an exam, you want to come and write a medical exam for 1 week. So you will have calculated your itinerary based on that 1 week, your feeding, your hotel, your transport and everything, and estimate how much it will cost you to sustain yourself for the period of that 1 week. So it varies. So that's why there is no POF published specifically for this purpose. So number 5, complete the official forms. Complete the official IRCC forms, which is form IMM 5257. That's the name of the form for visitors visa. IMM 5257. And this is what they call temporary residence form. So on this form, it will ask you some personal details like your phone number, your email address, which church do you attend. I'm just joking. So it will ask you for your phone number, your personal email address, your passport details, your passport number, when was it issued, when is it going to expire, and stuff like that, your travel history. So the complete details of your application is what you're going to fill on this form, your travel history, if you have been refused or if you have overstayed your visits in a specific country, how long did you overstay it, what happened, and if you have been refused visa before. So more like a breakdown of who you are is on this form. And then you need to use a computer, not a phone, when filling out this particular form. You can be filling in these other ones using your phone, but when you get here, you have to use a computer. And the reason being that it's for security reasons, there's a way it's been designed. You will not be able to use your phone to do that. It will really frustrate you. So there's no point trying at all. And another thing to note is use an Adobe Reader to open the PDF that's you're supposed to download. Otherwise, when you click on download, and you're not using, you don't have any of this, it will just tell you processing and downloading from now till tomorrow. In fact, till next year, it won't download. So make sure you have an Adobe Reader, Acrobat Adobe Reader on your system first downloaded. Then you cannot download the form. You'll be able to use it to open up the form, fill it out. You can do autofill, fill the form itself online, and then save and upload. Or you download, print, handwrite it, scan it, and upload. It's up to you, whichever one you prefer. So step 6, pay your fees and submit. Once your documents and forms are ready, you pay your fees and submit. As of 2026, you need to budget around $100 for your visa fee and $85 for your biometrics, which leads to $185 per adult. And for families, if you're applying as a family, irrespective of number of family, once it's family package, okay, so let me explain it this way. 185 is per adult. So if you're paying for family of 4, for instance, when you multiply 185 by 4, that will give you somewhere above 500 going to 600. So what you will have to pay is a maximum of $500 for that family package if it exceeds this amount. So it's capped, like, so to speak, that's English. It's capped at 500 if the number of people exceeds what it should be. And after your payment, you visit visa application centers for your biometrics. Each country has it. Google it, or you can check from your country where they are located. Before your application can move forward, you will need to go and do your biometrics, because they want to capture your fingers and your face to make sure that they can check you in the system if you have not come to Canada before. And step 7, wait and track. So the average processing time from outside of Canada when you're applying for visitor's visa is somewhere approximately 30 days. And this can also vary depending on your country of residence, your travel history, and how busy your visa office is in your location. So it could be lesser, it could be more, but that's like average time. And one thing, to track your application, you need to log in. If you filled those applications yourself, log into your IRCC portal, the account that you created in step 1, and track your application. And if someone applied on your behalf, let them log in and track it. Usually, when you start your application, you have about 60 days from the day you start to submit. If you cannot complete it within 60 days, the application will time out. You start it all over. Now, let's answer the question that everyone wants to know. Is the old shortcut gone for real? Yes, it is gone. And Canada has stopped that since August 2024. And it's amazing that people that came for World Cup in Canada, they're trying to escape. They thought that system still works. It doesn't work anymore. Sorry to disappoint you. So as the name sounds, visitor's visa is visitor's visa. Once it expires, you need to go back to where you come from. If you need other parts to remain stayed in Canada, you can apply through those other. So if you are preparing to apply, use this video as your checklist. And if your main goal is to actually settle and work in Canada, I have other videos I have done on this channel that covers express entry and work permit in detail. You can check them out. They will help you a lot. And mind you, these videos are educational and informational. And if you are new on this channel, this is your first time, or you have not subscribed but you've been watching my videos, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share, so that it will motivate me to produce more beautiful informational and educational videos like this. I will see you in my next one. Signing out.